You can buy a house, but not a home. You can buy health insurance, but not good health. You can buy sex, but not love. You can buy education, but not wisdom. You can buy a cruise experience. Hold on. You can't buy a cruise excursion at this point, since we are not living in normal times. You cannot buy a trip to Italy. You cannot buy honeymoon somewhere in Mexico. And as we are thinking how we can go back to our normal lives, perhaps it is a good time to re-examine those old ways of doing things. When we were buying houses but not homes, education but not wisdom, sex but not love, insurance but not good health. Perhaps it is time for us to stop and think, can we go back to normal in another way? Can we do things differently this time around? In the Gospel for the Feast of the Epiphany, in the very last sentence of that passage, we read, "Having been warned in a dream not to return to King Herod, the Magi from the east departed for their country by another way." You see, the Magi, or the wise men, or three kings, no matter what we call them, they were really wise. They realized that even though they do want to go back to their normal lives, even though they do want to go back home to the way the things were before this unexpected adventure, they have to go home in another way. And as we are slowly starting to imagine our life going back to normal, as we are slowly starting to imagine buying overseas trips and planning our next vacation, we too need to stop for a moment and ask ourselves, should we go home? Should we go back to normal in somewhat another way? Should we continue buying things and not experiencing life the way we could and we should? Is it always about having a house or creating a home? Is it always about buying the best medical advice? Or is it about living a healthy lifestyle? Is it about having multiple sexual partners? Or is it about loving that someone special in your life, for better and worse? Is it about taking yet another class, obtaining yet another degree? Or is it about learning where true wisdom lies? You see, there is another way of going back to normal. There is another way of doing things. Even though we can't wait for this world to be back the way it was before the pandemic, perhaps it shouldn't be exactly the same way it was. Perhaps instead of buying things, we should pay more attention to being what matters. Perhaps there is another way, and perhaps a true wisdom lies in finding a better way. Amen.